So, what's up, Benjamin?
Just another day. Took the kids to Olive Garden for the first time in their lives.
How'd they enjoy that?
Um, well, I tell them, hey, we're going to go to Olive Garden when I pick you up today. And I get the response, do we have to wear ties?
It's so funny that that's what kids think fancy restaurants are, Olive Garden.
Well, no, growing up, I thought it's where rich folks went. And,
Me too.
Probably until I started dating Jenny that I had ever gone. And then she's like talking trash. Oh, it's trash Italian, right? It's an insult to call it Italian. It's not real fancy. But I'm like, but my entire childhood I wasted.
Oh, wrong one. I just did the wrong thing. No, it's funny. Olive Garden. You go there on prom and stuff because you think it's the deal. Oh, talk now. I think there you go. All right.
No, with the what was it? The twins though. So just the three of us getting dinner, and then we've got the take-home thing.
Ooh, very nice.
You can take home the next dish. So I figured, all right, that feeds them tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about that. But I ended up dropping like $76 fucking bucks for dinner. And it's just like, this is insanity.
I don't know, man. I mean, I took the kids to Taco Bell the other day, and that was what, $23 to eat for Taco Bell?
Yeah. Oh yeah, me and the twins. That's usually a $26 trip.
Yeah, and I mean, and I know the people that work at Taco Bell, they only make
that.
They make what, $5.50 an hour, $6 probably, maybe.
$7.25 is federal minimum.
$7.25, yeah. So they may make like $8 if they're lucky.
Yeah.
So
it's like you just had 3 hours work for dinner.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I mean, and I even bought like one of the boxes of tacos for because like the kid. Because Stephanie, the kids will eat the soft tacos, and I can't tell you, but I'd be loving those chicken quesadillas. But I bought two of them; they were like $8. I could have went to a regular restaurant.
Yeah.
You know.
No, we get the box of tacos or whatever. It's just like, look, I've got all the kids, and everybody needs to shut the fuck up. So
yeah,
here's a couple of boxes of tacos.
Eat a box of tacos. Hey, look, everybody's here. I'm glad we postponed then because it was just going to be Jenny and I, and now the whole gang's here.
Yeah.
Eat tacos. What's his face? Gary. Gary will be so excited that all of us are here.
I'm not actually going to participate. I'm just going to say something at the beginning, and this is for you, Gary, and then I'm just not going to say anything.
That's what I was good. That was my plan too. That's so weird.
Ben, are you going for sexy hair, or is that by accident?
This is by accident. Is it sexy? Because I'll keep doing it.
As you reach over and mess it up.
Yeah, don't straighten it out.
He was trying to, I think, mess it up so it looked sexy.
Give us that bedhead, baby.
And Dennis, ever since you said that Jimmy Fallon is living like a Make-A-Wish life, that's all I think about now when people post those tiny desk videos of him.
Do what?
You said a couple weeks ago that Jimmy Fallon, like his life is like a giant Make-A-Wish. Because like he gets to play all this music with people and stuff like that. Yeah, you said it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Now I've seen like these new videos that he's doing in the fucking subways playing music with people, and every time I see him, I just think of your line. So well done.
Just take credit for it.
Yeah.
Take the win.
I mean, it's hilarious. So obviously, it's something I could have said.
I mean, you are a hilarious feller.
It's true.
You are a hilarious feller.
We're all very hilarious people.
We have our.
Why do you think we've been so successful for so long?
I mean, especially successful podcasters. You know how hard that is.
I was actually on iTunes today, and I ran out of podcasts to listen to. So I was just looking on there, and I looked at, like our ratings and everything. And then I noticed, like they said, if you like this show, then listen to these other podcasts. And there was probably like 15 different Star Trek podcasts that were listed there. None of them last as long as us.
Well, to be fair, we did take a sizable break.
No, but I mean, if you average it out.
Most of them lasted like 2-3 years tops.
Yeah.
So this is
2 or 3 years more than most.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, for you guys, I guess it was last month, right?
No, I mean, it's July. Yeah, we started July 8th, I think, was our first episode in 2011. So we've been doing this for 8 years. Granted, we took like a 2-year break for a little bit. But yeah, it's been
It's a hiatus.
yeah. Well, because I mean, I had to figure out my life in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it was hard to record podcasts when you have.
And I had a baby.
Yeah,
Baby.
everybody had babies. It was hard.
I don't have a baby.
Well, I mean, you had a
That
child.
you know of.
Oh, you had a
Whoa!
you had a secret pregnancy.
Hope my baby mama doesn't come after me for child support.
But no, yeah. So 8 years we've been doing this. I was telling someone today. It might have just been a Facebook Live. I don't know. It's all starting to run together. Kickstarter, man. That eventually our kids will just do these podcasts.
Yeah,
because there'll be so much Star Trek that our kids will do it. I don't know if Haley's super into Star Trek.
She's not into podcasting either.
Okay, well then she's out.
Yeah.
She's out.
I have to ask her, though, just so she can be like, no, I don't want to.
That would be nice, though. You give her the chance. Because if you don't, she's probably going to get bummed. Be like, I can't believe you didn't ask me.
I think it would be cool to have to have Haley on for an episode or two.
So I think it'd be cool for her if we did pass this down as a legacy show, for her not to be interested in Star Trek, and then that's the thing. Just through the whole show, is like, make me interested. What?
This shit sucks.
Ben, are your kids,
Which one?
I assume your kids are interested, Ben, right?
No.
No?
The only one who shows
Dork Trek The Next Generation is not going to be interested in Star Trek.
They're just going to be talking about anime.
Well, I'm sure at this point people listen to this podcast and go, these guys even watch the show anymore? They talk about everything else but.
Hey, we talked about the show last week.
I think we've been pretty good for the last month or so.
We did.
yeah, because I've been gone.
No.
No.
Out.
I
They
think
were
the
really good
episodes
episodes.
were really good. Yeah.
And I think I might be going out on a limb here. I think the saga continues of good episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's like there's this weird like curve. Like if it's a really bad episode, we're going to talk about it so we can make fun of it. If it's a pretty good episode, we're not going to talk about it at all. If it's a really good episode, we're going to talk about it the entire time again.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know?
Yeah, so I imagine during Voyager, it's just going to be a lot of us talking. So start working on some bits. We can start workshopping some new characters and stuff. But yeah, so this episode is called Sons and Daughters. Sons and Daughters.
Of the Confederacy.
No, Dennis.
Of the Revolution.
Not the Confederacy, Dennis. Why do you always have to go there? You're such an old...
Such a provocateur.
Yeah, you're such a Southern, South will rise again kind of guy. You're the Dennis, black and Asian, sons of the Confederacy.
Why don't you go back to where you came from?
God, that's
Cardassians.
so fucked up. Back to where they came from. Go back where you came from, Cardassians. Ain't nobody wants y'all here. But no, it appears that they want them here very much. Gold Ducat's doing a good job giving stuff away. Goddamn entitlement programs. I bet there's people on Cardassia that need stuff. They don't give nothing to them.
Just wants open wormholes.
Yeah, just open wormholes, man. That's all he wants. So you can let all these Jim Hadar through, man. They took our jobs.
Man, you're taking all our jobs, man.
Go back to the Gamma Quadrant.
Go fix your Gamma Quadrant first.
Yeah, man. Why don't you go back to your pool of consciousness where you came from?
Guys, go link with yourselves.
Yeah, man. Why don't you guys go link on? Hey, man. Why don't you fix your link first before you worry about our link over here, man? In the beta and alpha quadrants. But yeah, so good episode. Good episode.
You heard Ben?
Huh?
You okay?
We lost Ben.
No, I just had to
Have a seat.
remember what the episode was.
Now, Ben, the way this is lit, you look like an old religious painting because of the halo of light that kind of engulfs your head.
He's using that filter. What would you look like if you were a demigod?
Yeah. Ben's using the apostle filter.
Ben the bedheaded.
Ben, oh Ben the bedhead, and the Lord bestowed upon him.
And the Lord spoke unto him and said, Take thee unto a pillow, go thine bed. Combining deadly weight.
Walk amongst men as if thou wert still sleeping.
Muff up your hair ever so properly to look like you did not do anything to it at all.
See, that was the thing. I wish Intervention had lasted one more show, because I was pretty much committed that the next time I went to that convention, I was going the full pajamas and bathrobe thing. And that was just going to be what I dressed all weekend. Like when I did panels, when I walked around, whatever.
What's Intervention? Is that the show?
When did they stop doing that?
Is that the con you guys used to do up in Maryland?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, they stopped doing it?
Yeah, the one with Renee.
Was it 3 years ago?
Yep. Wasn't it? Yeah, it had.
think it was.
That's the one you guys
No,
were.
it
You
might
guys
have
would go
been
up there and do
4.
the Doctor Who stuff up there, right?
Don't they do? Do they do Regeneration Who still?
Mm-mm.
Oh, they're out of business.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's not a thing anymore.
Jenny made a face.
I don't know anything about it.
I would like to
just
know
know-
now.
I
It's just canceled. It got canceled.
I looked at the webpage and it said canceled, and that's all I saw. So I took my coffee and I stared out the window. I thought about what had happened.
I think they may have leaned a little too far forward on that Regeneration Who one, because like the very first year they had Peter Capaldi and
Not the first year, no.
somebody, didn't they? They had
Mhm.
somebody big the first year.
They
Or
had
the
Tom
second
Baker did like the Skype interview the first
Yeah.
year.
That was Tom Baker's
Yeah.
first show in like ages, because
I'm sure they paid a lot for it.
travel. Well, I mean, they had to fly out. They flew an IT team and had satellite shots. I mean, it was like there literally was a team of technicians flown to Tom Baker's home.
Yeah.
To help him with the technology.
I'm sure it was just Skype, man. No, that doesn't work that way. It's not that complicated.
They had to reverse the polarity.
No,
Yes.
that was when
Get
they
him some
interviewed
jelly
Dork.
beans.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Now, did people turn on Doctor Who when Doctor Who became a lady, right? Like, is that when people are over it now? Is that why people hate Doctor Who?
The writing is bad now.
Right.
And that's oh god, it pisses me off so bad, because she's great.
The
The
rest of
writing-
the cast is great.
The rest of the cast is great. The writing is warmed over.
Garbage.
But then to quote Michael Jackson, what's the problem?
We need new writers in the showrunner.
Okay.
It
all
was
right.
bad. I didn't even finish last season.
I hated how
Wow.
it was filmed.
Yeah.
Just,
The scenes like held too long, and it was, I don't know.
I mean,
and-
I'm talking
It was a
about
hot mess,
physically,
man.
though. Like the like how you can tell when something's 35 millimeter film, or if it was videotaped or whatever.
I
And
don't
this
think
had
they're
that-
using film anymore.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but you know how you can tell though when they use different stock or different ways
Mhm.
of recording, and it just didn't look like Doctor Who anymore. It looked like one of the BBC dramas or something. Or it could've been-
Interesting.
My problem was that like the stories were paced really weird. Like the stuff that needed to be sped up was really freaking slow and drawn out, and then they would skim over parts of the story that were just like, what the hell just happened? Like, and I don't know, it just the way that the pacing. That's to sum it up. It was bad.
All right. So it's not good, but what is good is this episode of Deep Space Nine called "Sons and Daughters." It starts out with what Worf is on his Klingon vessel.
Him and Dax are making out hard.
I mean, there's still some hard. I mean, there's definitely some like.
Well, isn't
contact.
this the pickup from the last episode? This is like a direct continuation.
Yes, there's
Wow.
there's definitely some genital upon genital through clothes contact. Yeah,
Call me daddy.
there's definitely some. I believe it's called, the kids call it dry humping.
He was wiggling the
What?
worm.
Was there heavy petting?
No, maybe through clothes. I didn't know where Dax's hands were. Hers were around Worf's neck, I think, like choking him out because Worf's a freak.
Some above the robe action.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Over the rope. No, nothing through the rope.
over the rope. But yeah, so they're making out, and because they just got rescued from that planet, which was pretty cool. Even though they make no mention of the
The Vorta.
Vorta. Where'd he go? I know we see him again later, but you thought they'd be like, yeah, we got that Vorta guy over here. But anywho,
Throw him in the brig.
throw him in the brig. They need to take on some replacements, some new people, because I guess everybody be dying. And one
What's
of
going
them,
rough?
One of them is Alexander Rozhenko. Hey.
But before that, one of them is Gabrielle Union.
Yes. Yeah. Gabrielle Union.
Like I noticed when I was watching, I was like, oh, this is the first time I've seen a black lady be a Klingon.
Mm-hmm.
Because
what a black lady.
Klingon women have been white women so far. And a lot of the men have been black guys, but it's the first time there's a black lady.
Yeah.
What a hell of a black lady.
Yeah, it's like a pretty...
Dwayne Wade's wife.
Yeah. And she's an accomplished person on her own, Dennis.
I know. She's Dwayne Wade's wife.
And her name in the episode was
Dwayne Wade's wife.
No.
And Garen.
And Garen. But yeah, and then the other one is Alexander Rozhenko, and he's just Alexander. He's the original son of none because he doesn't claim anybody.
I honestly never thought we would see him again when he disappeared, just like Jeremy Astor.
Well, I guess
they kind of talk about that.
Yeah.
They do. Two things. I think they age him a little bit because when he left, when we last saw him on TNG, he was probably around like 7.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't been that long. So I think they bumped him up a little bit for the purpose of the episode.
Yeah.
Well,
there was a discussion from behind the scenes and the producers where if they had him age, if he was younger than how he was in this episode, when Worf is trying to train him and stuff, it would come off more abusive.
Yeah.
With him being older, it makes it come across as him just being harsh.
Yeah.
Stop trying to hit me, you little pussy.
Yeah. Stop trying to hit me harder, pussy. But yeah, so he's aged a little bit. I'm probably like maybe 5 years because I want to say he's like 17 at this point or something.
At least.
That's about right, yeah.
So like at the end of TNG, he's like 8 or 9, something like that, right?
Something. Well,
but
no.
the end of TNG and the beginning of Deep Space Nine, or the end of TNG is like the 3rd season of DS9, right?
Yeah, he should only be probably like 12.
Yeah, he's like 12 or 13 or something.
Yeah, but in this episode, he looks like he's probably 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Maybe he fell in a wormhole or something and got aged.
Maybe that's why Worf was able to kill kids on the soccer field.
Yeah. I'm so great. Headbutt them to death with my giant head. But yeah, so he's a little bit older. They age him up a little bit. And I don't know about you guys, but every time I looked at him, I just thought Owen Wilson.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can see it.
Every time I just thought it was Owen Wilson. Like
he kind of looked a little Klingon Tom Cruise-y to me.
He looked Tom Cruise-y too. He had a Tom Cruise vibe as well.
The Wikipedia thing has more of a Tom Cruise vibe.
Let me see. I got to look this up. Sons and Daughters.
Yeah, when you look up the Alexander Rozhenko entry, Alexander, son of Worf.
Yeah, he definitely, he's given off. Oh, yeah, Tom Cruise too. Yeah, good call. He's definitely given me a Tom Cruise. Mark Warden. They don't have a real picture of him. He hasn't really done much. He was in Deep Space Nine, Felicity, Batman Begins, Nash Bridges, Life According to Jim.
Nash Bridges.
Be Cool Scooby-Doo. But yeah, he was in The Mentalist. He did a lot of TV. But yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. Tom Cruise, yeah, all the way. Yeah, I'm also getting Owen Wilson off of him. I don't know why, but that's
wow.
Well, yeah,
punk ass.
Well, yeah, man. I'm like, come on, Worf. What the hell, man?
That's pretty much what he sounds like.
Wow. What's going on, guys? I'm Luke. I'm Owen Wilson. My brother's Luke.
Are you mocking me?
That's a really nice sword, man. Ow! That's my best Owen Wilson impersonation. That's
pretty
all.
great.
It's pretty good.
I will still stand by though. What was it? That movie, the horror movie he was in.
13 Ghosts.
No, there was
Horror
something like
There's a fake one they did on SNL.
The House on Haunted Hill.
I think something like that. And the thing was is that I'd never seen him before, so that's the first time I saw him. And so through the whole movie, at the beginning of the movie, I noticed his nose. right?
Yeah, you said you thought he had
And
a
I thought it was the
prosthetic.
so I waited through the whole fucking movie for some horrible thing to happen to, because they obviously put this prosthetic on so that they could do a practical shot. And then it was like, oh, why did they give him a prosthetic nose through that whole fucking movie?
Well, you probably have to wait until after the scene where he serves them all hot dogs on the train at the big dinner table. It's a joke for nobody.
Far out. I love.
Is that the train to Darjeeling or whatever?
No.
Oh.
Nothing but trouble.
Yeah, there'd be no hot dogs on that.
He was in The Haunting. The Haunting.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one with what's that crazy looking lady?
Lily Taylor.
Yeah, Lily Taylor.
Yeah. Wow, man, far out. Wow, that's.
I did see where somebody replaced the what was it, the lightsaber fight with Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul, and all of the lightsaber sounds are him. Wow.
Wow.
Wow, man. Wow, that's a really nice. What do you call that, man? That sword? That's wow.
I think one of my favorites was the one I shared the other day, which was a tortoise that just goes wow. And then they put a scene of Owen Wilson right after. Wow.
He's great. I love him. I think he's wonderful. I mean, I may be in the minority
for different folks.
And that's what I'm totally cool with that. But I love Owen Wilson. He's
great.
He's not
great
the
in
best.
Behind Enemy Lines.
He's not like the best actor ever, but he's fun. He does what he needs to do in the movie.
Dude, he's great in fucking Royal Tenenbaums. Like, he's so wonderful in that movie. He's great in Cable Guy, even though he has that bit part. Like, because what the girl comes in, he's like, "You're sexy. What'd you say? You heard me." And then, like, he goes to the bathroom and gets beat up by Jim Carrey. I love him. I love Owen Wilson. He's great. Wow, man. And he's definitely the better looking of the two Wilsons, I think. Unless you guys like Matt better. Is his name Matt?
Luke. Do
you guys think who's more handsome, Luke or Owen?
Luke.
I think Luke's more handsome.
Yeah.
It's not to say that he's handsome, but he's more, I don't know. I'm thinking of like old school Luke Wilson.
I can get that. I don't know what he's doing. Is he doing anything recently?
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of him being.
That's all I know. I don't know. What are you guys giving me all these questions for? He's still doing a lot of stuff. 2018, he was in 1, 2, 3 movies. 2019, he's in 1, 2, 3, 4 movies. How are you in so many movies? Luke Wilson. He's in Zombieland. I can't believe they're doing a second Zombieland movie.
What?
Yeah, that movie is very old. Wow, man. Wow.
It's a good movie, though.
Wow, man. Wow.
Is Mark Zuckerberg going to be in it too?
I guess. How did they get Emma Stone back? Like, that's a tough get. She's real famous now.
You love the work.
Wow, man.
Respect.
Is that one of the movies where she kind of got her start?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Maybe she's just like, you know what? I think I owe a little respect to this sequel.
She was kind of on the verge of breaking at that point. When
she was close. Yeah. I'm trying to find her filmography.
I'm trying to think who she is.
Emma Stone is not
La La Land.
Yeah, she's in La La Land. Yeah.
Okay.
Mary Jane Watson in.
No, she was Gwen Stacy.
I'm sorry, Gwen Stacy. Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense because she's a redhead. She's fucking Mary Jane Watson. You stupid idiots.
They should have switched her with Kirsten Dunst. Kirsten Dunst was playing Mary Jane when she should have played Gwen Stacy.
Man, don't be talking bad about the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
I'm not talking bad about it. I'm just saying that she should have been Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, I quit.
Jesus.
I quit.
The third one's pretty bad, though.
I mean, yeah, the third one sucks, but I mean, those first two are...
The second one's
the best ever.
Pretty great.
The second... what do you...
Spider-Verse may be the best. Spider-Verse may be the best.
I just watched
Spider-Man
that recently.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Wow.
I was on the verge of tears the whole time.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
goddamn movie.
Wow, man. Yeah, wow. Yeah, Spider-Verse. Wow.
Amazing movie.
I'm glad I watched it because I was like, I can probably watch this with my son. I was like, no way. This fucking movie's too intense emotionally.
It was great. I was very surprised how good that movie was.
I took the twins to see it at the theater, and Daniel is a huge Miles Morales fan now.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Always like Miles Morales.
And Jonathan continues to be a huge Nick Cage fan because why not?
Well, everybody loves Nick Cage. I mean, if you're gonna love somebody, it should be Nick Cage. Zombieland was her 1, 2, 3, fourth film because she broke in with Superbad. That was her first film.
Super bad.
Then she did The Rocker, which I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember that. And then
John Rocker?
No, yes, it was about John Rocker. It was
Right in
the
the
story of
Dream?
John Rocker.
I thought it was the sequel to The Rock.
It was with Rainn Wilson playing like an old music guy. And then House Bunny. She was in House Bunny. And then she did Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, which I ain't never heard of. And then
that was a Matthew McConaughey movie, if I remember correctly.
Wow, man, wow.
I couldn't think of Matthew McConaughey's name the other day.
Wow, you got a really good memory, Dennis. Wow, man. Wow.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. But yeah, so Tom Cruise shows up on the ship and he's all like, I hate you guys.
You didn't teach me how to bartend.
I wanted to learn how to do that flippy shit.
Yeah. The shimmy, shimmy, shake.
I wanted to learn how to have some flair. You never taught me flair, Dad. Now I'm just a regular bartender at Bennigan's.
I had to go learn it from, what was the guy's name? Connigan? I had to learn it from Connigan. And then he died.
I was working at Space Bennigan's, and I wanted to work at Space Fridays and do that flippy shit, Dad.
It was your fault.
But
Show me the money, Dad.
Yeah, show me the money.
The Color of Money.
Yeah, and then other movies that Tom Cruise has been in. But yeah, so and then back
I'm on this ship with my eyes wide shut, Dad.
Oh, that was a good one. And it's Mission Impossible walking around out here with your eyes closed. It's real hard.
I can't even see the vanilla sky.
I want to be the Top Gun Klingon, Dad.
That's right, because there's some Days of Thunder going on out here with all this war. Real scary.
It's like we're fighting some kind of Mission Impossible 4 Rogue Nation.
Now you're just looking at his Wikipedia page. You're cheating.
I'm not. I love Mission Impossible. I love those movies.
You love Mission Impossible 4 Rogue Nation?
I think actually 5 is Rogue Nation.
What about Ghost Protocol?
Ghost Protocol, yeah.
I think I stopped after 2.
Well, that was the John Woo one that almost ruined the series.
Yeah.
And I wanted to watch more. Every time one's come out, I'm like, oh, but yeah, I gotta go catch up. And then I just never.
The rest are great. You should watch them.
Are they better than the Fast and the Furious movies?
Yeah, of course.
Are you sure?
Come on.
I could stare at my salad wilting and it'd be better than Fast and the Furious movies.
I don't know, man. People be loving them janks.
I'm not a fan.
Wow, man. Wow.
I like movies where the hero doesn't die.
Wow, man. Wow.
It's like
Like
spoilers.
Doesn't die?
So edgy. Wow. Well, he died in real life.
Yeah.
So
There's no more sequels, so why would I bother?
They didn't script that part.
well, the thing is, they said they weren't going to do any more movies, and they're like, "Yeah, let's change our mind on that one."
Yeah.
You know what?
I may actually have to go back and watch all of the Fast and Furious movies.
Don't do it, Ben.
Because I want to. I keep seeing these commercials for the Calvin and Hobbes thing. The Rock.
I hope there's an imaginary tiger.
So it just
that would be really cool if Idris Elba was playing an imaginary tiger. Like that would be the role of his life.
Like that's the reveal at the end of the movie. He's really just a doll of Idris Elba.
So to get that though, I figured I'd have to watch all of the Fast and the Furious movies. So
I don't think you do. I think like The Rock is a police officer of some sort. He's a law enforcement agent, and Jason Statham is a criminal of some sort. And now they're going against a super criminal, and I think that's all you really need to know.
Is it even tied in with Fast and Furious, or is it just using their? Okay, I thought it was just like their stereotypical characters.
I think
in
the
another
official
movie.
title is Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the Star Wars universe with Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Gotcha.
This is Calvin and Hobbes, a Fast and Furious story.
Gotcha.
Oh, it's better than Star Trek Beyond.
The next one's going to be Kathy, a Fast and the Furious story.
Then after that, it'll be Izzy, a Fast and the Furious story. And then Family Circus, a Fast and the Furious story.
Doonesbury, Fast and the Furious story.
Foxtrot.
Andy Cap.
The Far
Now,
Side.
people really don't know what we're talking about.
Prince Valiant.
They came up in a post I made the other day.
But
It was always the last one you read.
Hagar the Horrible.
oh, I love Hagar the Horrible.
It was always pretty good.
Did
But
you
yeah.
have like favorites that you would like go when you get this? Y'all read the Sunday paper when you were kids.
Of course.
Old enough.
Yeah, Peanuts was always front page material.
Yeah. Well, because then the Virginia pilot, it was Peanuts was first, and then Garfield was right after that one, and
Same with the
then
Birmingham News.
yeah, and then like you had like the little smaller ones underneath those ones. So you'd have like the Family Circus, and then Far Side were kind of right next to each other.
See, for us, Andy Capp was the third one on the front page.
Okay.
See, we didn't for Birmingham News, and this is how old I was. On the front page for Sunday at least.
No, is this for the white people or? Because I don't know if you guys had different papers for the if they were segregated. Ben's not amused.
So we had
Ironically, the colored comics were for the white people, and the black and white ones were for the black.
See, Dennis knows. So we had Peanuts was above the fold, and it was the full upper half. It was a full half page.
Nice.
Right, and for a long time it was Garfield was the full half page below, and that went away and got smaller very quickly because Calvin and Hobbes then was the full front.
On the pilot, when you'd flip over, Calvin and Hobbes was the top one on the third page. So like they had I don't want to say junk, but they had a little bit more junk stuff on that second page on the
second
interior.
page. I think was usually like the 2 or 3 panel.
Yeah.
For like
but then Calvin and Hobbes had the prime real estate, like bang right there.
And for us, Prince Valiant was always the top half of the back page. The inside back, like when you open it, the back page facing you was top half was Prince Valiant. Below that was like the Scrabble and the weird
word
shit
searches,
the word jumble. Yeah.
And then on the back page was advertisements. So
advertisements.
Mary Worth, a Fast and Furious story.
I feel like I had a very privileged life as a child with comics because we had the Washington Post.
Oh, wow.
There was actually like 2 comic sections.
That's
awesome. I think like one of them was Peanuts was on the front, and like Garfield was on the other one, and I want to say like Bloom County or whatever.
Ooh, that is good.
Whatever came after that. Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
Doonesbury.
So.
Yeah, well, see, the Washington Post though, that's a. They used to be. I don't know if they still are because I haven't really followed it, but they used to be a syndicate. So if you were part of the Washington Post writers group.
And he's coming back. Okay,
I'm back. I'm back.
I thought it was me. That was my weird connection.
It was me.
Like we're frozen.
Too late. But yeah, so are we done here?
We should talk about Star Trek.
Nine's all around.
Yeah.
Then back on the station, he brings his daughter back.
Ziyal.
Ziyal is back on the station, y'all. Ziyal, y'all. And it's convenient timing, especially after the last episode, because they're planning their counter revolution to the whole Cardassian occupation of Bajor and the Dominion and all that stuff. So it does seem rather convenient that she shows back up.
And she's an artist now.
Yeah.
Of some note.
She drew the picture of the turtle in the back of the comics.
Yeah.
Sent it in.
And they were like, wow, this is great.
And the pirate.
Yeah, you got to do the pirate.
Yeah.
I can't tell if Ben's trying to be frozen or...
No, I was actually reading about her art.
Oh, my internet connection's unstable. I might be gone again.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Can you guys still hear me?
My emotions are unstable.
Well, I mean, yeah, that goes without saying that. We all knew that shit. We just didn't bring it up because we didn't want to, to hurt your feelings.
You don't want to make me cry on the show? Cause a scene.
Let me tell you the story about Clark Kent and his first pet. So, I read that and it made me cry.
And then he tells me the story and made me cry.
Yeah. Oh, and Haley was with us at dinner too that night.
The
one about when he had the kitten. in one of the comics. It's too. I can't go through it again. It's too emotional. I would have to literally quit the show after that.
All right, well, we don't want that to happen.
Exactly. It's very emotional.
So now she's an artist of some note. She's got a big surprise, and she wants Kira to come over to hang out, to tell the news, to have dinner, and she doesn't want to go, but she feels like she's obligated to go because of the girl, so she kind of goes and has
it feels like these are the divorced parents like having to come over for
Very
Thanksgiving.
And
it was really awkward the entire time. Like, can't you just see that she doesn't want to be around your dad?
And it makes it even more awkward because the ex-husband is like a genocidal, sex-crazed maniac.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would be like if Ava Braun and Hitler had kids and they got divorced, but then they wanted to like hang out still.
No, it would be like if Hitler had a kid with Ava Braun, and then Ava Braun dies, and then Anne Frank helps raise her, and then survives, and then you make Anne Frank like come over for dinner with Hitler.
Oh, come down, sit down, we're having schnitzel.
So it would be closer to. I would just, that was my take on.
I still get what you're going for.
Except he gives her a dress with like a star stone on the sleeve.
No, the voice over. We're all friends now, yeah. No harm, no foul, right? Would you like his shoes? Because I have so many now.
Oh, too far.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was
Don't
too
fucking
much.
trust a Nazi. That's why I this is the thing with Ducat.
There's three things you shouldn't trust: Nazis, big butts, and smiles.
And Gold Ducat.
Yeah,
Yes.
who I space Nazi. No, I've had to have this argument with Star Trek fans so many times when they tried to defend Ducat, and he's like, well, they're not just shallow. Some people are truly evil. You have to look at why he did the things he did. I'm like, he did the things he did because he's a fucking space Nazi.
And they do it, and I think even sometimes the writing of the show kind of makes him more charming and kind of.
And that should be your training of how to deal with Nazis, because yes, they can be charming and charismatic and trick you. And
I think that's the character trait that gets portrayed the most of Gul Dukat in this episode is like his ability to gaslight people.
Oh yeah.
Like he does it. His daughter is just totally bamboozled.
Oh, I don't understand. What? No, I got this dress for you.
Yeah.
And then she's mad at Kira for not coming to the.
No, I think at the end of the episode when they talk, I think she understands.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I kind of got this weird sense where she's like, don't make me choose between you. Like, you can be friends with Kira and you can still, like, respect your father for whatever reason, even though he's an evil asshole. Like, you don't have to choose between them because, I don't know, it just didn't make any sense. I guess we're skipping around, but whatever. It annoyed me because it's like she shouldn't have to choose. Like, she should still be able to be friends with her and just know that she can't invite Kira over to the house for dinner.
Yeah, but I think what Nerys is saying, but I think Nerys is kind of pulling herself out of that because she doesn't want to be involved with any aspect of his life anymore with Gul Dukat because she doesn't like him, she doesn't trust him, she hates him, and she's now actively working to overthrow him. So.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But I think that was the thing, though, is that, well, Kira finally had that snap because in the previous episodes, there's been this whole thing of you can't, it's that insidiousness of the Cardassians that you find yourself being a collaborator very quickly just because, you get a little bit more bread or you get this favor over that favor. And I think that's when she finally snaps in this episode with the dress that she realizes, holy shit, if I take this, I'm going down that path.
That's honestly what undoes this episode for me because it was so meaningful in the last episode when the lady hangs herself and Kira's like, holy fuck, I need to resist by all means necessary. And it's like she sees Ziyal and she forgets all about it until she's like, looking at the dress in the mirror and stuff. She's like,
no, I think there was
like the dress is what snapped you into that, not the lady who hung herself.
No, but I think that's the connection, though. is she sees how easy it is to fall for it. And I think remembering the lady on the promenade, and it's like, no, this is what it's about. This little shit.
But it seems like she shouldn't have slipped back that quickly to
No.
even be tempted to start falling for it again.
Well, I think there is
Because even when Jake is like saying, "Hey, I want to join your resistance cell" or whatever, like it doesn't seem like they partly didn't want him to join because they didn't want him to get involved, but they also seem like they didn't have their shit together. They're like, "Oh, we're still trying to, hire."
Well, I mean, a resistance cell doesn't happen overnight, Dennis. This is
It should be for her.
Look, we've got an ad out for a graphic designer. We're trying to come up with some logos and stuff. We're going to put together some flyers. But until we get that shit together, we can't really start the resistance. So just give us a little bit more time, thanks.
If you know anybody who is a graphic designer, like we can't pay them yet.
Yeah, send us some sample.
And we
Non-watermark samples, please.
We can't give them
watermarks.
we can't really give them exposure either because that's pretty much a death sentence.
Mhm. So you just have to do it for the love of the work.
Yeah.
And the hatred of the Cardassians. And
Now, hey,
I mean, and if you say no,
Honestly, you
like
just told me.
if you survive the new occupation, then at a time, and hopefully the not too distant future, we make you like a hero of the Republic or something.
Yeah.
You know.
But
You
now,
wanna
I
make
mean,
sure you're invested in the resistance.
and I think a lot of this is kind of conveniently timed, like because Nerys has such an affinity and kind of, I guess, love for Ziyal.
That's why I'm thinking is like wheels should be in motion by this point for something to happen with the resistance. And when she sees Ziyal, she should really be trying to say, "Hey, get the fuck out of here," because the shit's about to go down with this resistance.
I can't
not so many words, but yeah. I don't know.
She might have just sold her out to her dad, though.
Well, not on purpose, but Kira, it's for your own good. Dad can help you with this resistance thing.
That does seem like something she would do.
I'm sure if you just petition him with your demands, then you guys can come to some kind of compromise.
I'm sure if you just ask him, he'll totally help you out.
Dad said just give him a list of everyone who's involved. And once he sees the list of names, he's going to be like,
You'll meet with one of them individually.
With that many people, protesting, obviously something has to get done. He maybe gather you all up together in the old refinery and have a meeting and discuss it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we did skip around a little bit. So that's how that ends. Where she
what's the beast? Is the Ziyal thing the B story?
Oh yeah.
The A story. Okay.
Yeah, the A story is clearly Worf and Alexander.
Sons comes first. Sons is the A story, and Daughters is the B story.
And then Alexander is having a tough time on the ship. Like people are making fun of him because he's a punk.
Yeah, he is a punk.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, no, I'm not saying that like as like I was trying to sugarcoat it. Like, no, he's a straight punk. Like, he's not a Klingon warrior at all. And Worf knows this. Everybody knows this, but Alexander, I think he's suicidal, to be honest with you. I think he wants to die.
He's a poser.
I think he's just trying to prove that he's a real Klingon. But he's
not.
Like deep down inside, he knows it's not true.
I mean, we all know that. He said as much last time we saw him. He's like, I don't want to be a warrior. I want to be like an artist or a musician or something dumb like that. And Worf was like, yeah, whatever. Get out of my face.
All right, I'll never see you again.
And is this the Klingon equivalent of becoming a stripper? Like, I just need your attention and validation, Dad. I never got your love, and now I'm a wannabe warrior.
Worf sees all the Klingons slipping gold press latinum down his thong. They're like, no son of mine.
He's just a punk, and everybody knows it. And everybody's beating him up, and they're treating him like a bitch. And then they explain what happens. Like, yeah, he's not very good at being a Klingon. I tried to train him to be a Klingon. He didn't really want to be a Klingon. So I sent him to live with my parents on Earth, the Rozhenkos.
Yeah.
Where he learned to be a Russian farmer.
And then
he's not even a good Russian.
Yeah, and then you think he'd have an accent or something, and then poor Martog is like, oh, great, I got to deal with all this shit. You got this
drama.
This fucking Moripovich shit.
That's what he says to him. That's what he says to him, basically. It's really awesome. Oh, Jesus, you two fucking dickheads. So he just gets beat up, and then
He's fucking up. Like he leaves the drill simulation,
which was really
running.
funny.
Yeah. Scared the piss out of everybody on the ship.
Yeah.
It's keeping them on his toes, keeping them on their toes, though.
Well, see,
Look.
that's kind of where the crew started accepting him.
As the ship's fool, Worf says.
Well, at the same time, I mean, they were like, you'll keep, like G said, you'll keep us on our toes. It's just like, and like Martok said, he won't make that mistake again.
It's true. It's true.
He's learning.
Yeah, because they're gonna move him to the galley.
Yeah, because he'll be dead. Because somebody's gonna kill him because he's incompetent. He won't make that mistake again because I'm going to kill him.
Yeah. His next mistake will be locking himself in the engine room.
Because I am Martog and I kill stuff.
I tripped over my tools and then I fell and the door shut and I accidentally hit the lock.
What an embarrassment.
I think that was more of a happy accident because then he didn't have to go out and fight anymore.
This episode should have ended with Worf saying, I really think you're more Starfleet material.
Bum, 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 bum.
I'm going to give you the number of Wesley Crusher.
Yeah.
Give him a call at the Academy. He did so great there before the Traveler fucked his career up.
Yeah, you should really go hang out with the Traveler because no one wants you here is basically what happens.
Yeah.
You know how
you're a little old for him, but the Traveler is still probably,
You know how I never hugged you when you were younger? You won't have this problem anymore.
Well, Worf, I mean, he kind of lays it out for him, though. He's like, you abandoned me, just like you abandoned everybody. Like, you went off and did your military stuff, and you forgot about me, and you don't give a shit about me.
Sent me away.
It sent me away. Me. You sent me away.
I'm a space millennial. I need attention.
Why doesn't anybody in space love me?
I'm killing space Applebee's.
To be fair to Alexander, which I am never usually, his mom was murdered and his dad took every opportunity to dump him off on other people. Whenever
That's not true. He tried.
For like half a season.
I mean, but that's all you have. Yeah, like you can't make the show about Alexander and Worf's relationship. Who would watch that besides us?
Fucking Spot was on the show more than Alexander.
Well, maybe because Spot was a more interesting character.
That's true.
It's probably easier to get along with. The cast really likes Spot. I heard they didn't like it. The actor who played Rozhenko. But yeah, so he
Brian Bonesaw.
Yeah, so he's kind of, Worf can only do so much. He tried to train him, and he's like, I don't want to do any of this stuff. So he's like, all right, cool. Well, this ain't for you. So let me send you somewhere where you can learn how to fucking farm. There's more fucking farmers in the 24th century. It's ridiculous.
If he wanted to be an artist or whatever, like, there's plenty of trades to learn on the Enterprise. He could have stuck around.
Not when he's like 8. What's he going to do as an 8-year-old besides go to school? And then
go to school and like make stupid clay figures. And
Worf was like, I ain't got time for this.
Could have went to drama classes like everybody else in Starfleet.
That's right. But he was more into like crying a lot.
Yeah. He had the other kind of drama.
Wow, man. Wow. Like, I'm just so sad all the time. It's like,
wow.
It's like,
The thing that part was that the Jim Hadar really do show up. It's like, ooh, space battle, reaction, fire.
Wee! I believe at one point he does say wee. But he does realize that, everything's getting kind of blown to shit and he kind of doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And he's like, I'm no good to you here.
There's a lot of fucking hesitation on that bridge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know I'm used to seeing the Enterprise or the Deep Space Nine, and these are more mature officers, and but it's like you're on the front lines, and these guys there's a lot of hesitation between it's this, and it's like you need a beating just so you know that that's not acceptable.
Well, I think part of that too, though, is they're showing the inexperience of the crew, like. Because these are a lot of younger kids. These are the replacement guys. Like, they don't know their fucking elbows from a hole in the wall. They're a bunch of morons.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But
Gabrielle Union knew what she was doing.
Well, she's a fine black woman. That's why. She don't need no man. But it also shows the awesomeness of Martog that he's able to kind of whip these boneheads together because he's such a cool-ass dude.
Do you think that's why they sent him to Martok? Because they know that with him being the experienced leader that he is, that he'll be the
turn around the loser crew of the Rotaran.
Yeah, he's the best, and he does the best. He gives the best speeches and stuff.
Yeah,
just awesome.
He's got
like
one eye, it looks really cool
when he's talking to Alexander, when he's fucking flinging his weapon all over the place. He's like, "Why are you here? Do you ask this of everyone?" He's like, "No, I know why they're here. I can see it in their eyes. You're a punk."
I clearly said no pussies aboard this ship. Yet here you are.
There's two signs. One of them is a fat chick with a line through it. The other one is a pussy with a line through it. Both of those things don't belong on this ship. And you're clearly breaking one of those rules. Do you see any fat chicks around here, Alexander Rozhenko? I don't, because the sticker works. So we're transferring you. Get the hell out of here. But my dad, he's like, yeah, your dad's right. You're an idiot. Leave.
Now I see why he got rid of you.
Yeah.
Your dad and I were talking about this. I mean, he's not going to talk. He's not going to cling on.
We took a vote. We don't like you.
Yeah.
Been voted off the island.
You've been voted off the ship of losers, so get out. Because you're a loser.
How bad is it that he's too much of a loser for the loser ship?
Well, this is Martok. Martok's
like, hey, we got a reputation to maintain.
Yeah. They were the loser ship. Now they're the awesome ship. Now they're a friend ship.
Oh my!
And they do a good job. And they, I mean, you had one bird of prey defeated 2 Jem'Hadar beetles. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Martok did some cool flying. He blew some shit up.
Hit the brakes, which is that's a Tom Cruise move.
Yeah, that's Highway
from Top Gun.
Right there.
Hit the brakes and let the MiGs fly over them.
Mm-hmm. But you think someone would eventually be like, "Hey, when they stop, you stop." They've been doing this move since the 20th century. In an Earth film called Top Gun.
Yeah, but
it hasn't made it to the Gamma Quadrant yet.
Yeah, that's too many light years away.
But yeah, so but yeah, it works, man. This is a good episode.
It's all right. I like the last one better.
Well, yeah, of course, the last one's great, but this is still a good one. I mean, you get a nice little, and they're just kind of, you're just getting more layers now. Oh, now we've got, what's her face on the station now? Cool. Oh, Worf's son is back. Oh, cool. They're continually building this kind of world. I just look at this as like a world building episode.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. There was one little nitpicky thing that has no bearing on the story whatsoever, but when what's his name? Jake was trying to join the Resistance, and he was like, "I know things. I hear lots of things because I'm a reporter." And they're like, "Get out of here, kid! You don't know shit." And then what's his name comes up?
Quark.
Quark comes up and says, "Well, you can work for me as a waiter." And he's like, I don't want to do that. And I'm thinking, like, if you want to, like, learn stuff and overhear things, that would be the best possible way to do it. Like if you're playing D&D, where do you go to find information about stuff? You go to the tavern and you listen to people. Like, that would have been the best thing for him to do. He could have found out all kinds of information for the Resistance.
Yeah, but who wants to be another failed writer waiter? Like, there's so many. It's such a trope at this point.
That is a good point.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm a waiter now, but like I'm working on my novel. I mean,
yeah,
I write some articles for a website. I mean, I don't get paid, but it's exposure.
Yeah.
So is Jake a blogger?
I mean, the novel's
yes.
He's kind of a blogger. The novel's coming along. I mean, I kind of hit a point because I mean, I really didn't know what the secondary characters were really doing, and so
they're not really speaking to me right now.
So right now I'm kind of waiting tables until I can get back on the horse, the novel, and stuff.
Might become a space barista for a little while.
They really need to open a coffee shop on the promenade. Yeah. That would help his writing career.
Yeah, maybe I'll sit in Quarks with my space word processor.
Too many Dabo tables, though.
Well, I mean, it's a good distraction because sometimes I'm not really feeling motivated. So I'm gonna, go sit down and do.
Well, you got to get your mind off of things for a little bit when you're trying to start the creative process.
Yeah.
So let the ideas flow.
Yeah, flow.
I feel very attacked right now.
Oh, so do I, Ben.
Hey, but I guess that process works for Jake, though, right? Doesn't he write like one of the most awesomest novels of the 24th century?
In an alternative history.
Yeah, I don't know if that still happens.
Yeah, because in that alternative history, his dad died. His dad's still alive. So who knows?
For now.
For now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wasn't that though? I think so. I did a video about that. How everything goes back to that episode. Like all the major bad stuff and millions of people dying, all goes back to Jake saving Ben.
Oh, because there was no Dominion War in that reality.
Right. And so like all this stuff, everything.
It's always the black man's fault. Fucking bullshit.
They always find a way, man.
I know. They always find a way to blame the space black.
He should have just gone back home.
To space.
Go back to Louisiana.
Go back to space.
I won't go back to my shithole planet where I came from.
The one cool thing I will say about the episodes is when they pan, because you know how they do the exterior shot of Deep Space Nine, and you're like, oh, I know who I'm going to see now. It's not that way anymore, which is very cool because like my brain is.
That's why they have like all the Dominion ships flying around it, so you're reminded.
I know, but my brain still thinks like, oh, we're going back to the station. Where's Julian? And we go back to the station, like, oh, these are just a bunch of spoonheads. Okay, interesting.
Wow.
Well, I mean, that's what they
Ray.
That's what they are, dude. That's what they are.
Fucking spoonheads.
Fucking sold out the
spoonhead cardies.
Yeah, but yeah. So every time I'm like, oh yeah, cool. My brain has been trained, and it's interesting to think that they don't have like a home at this point.
Yeah,
like the crew. The bridge crew of Deep Space Nine is just scattered throughout the galaxy. Yeah. Like they're on their own little missions, doing their own little thing. And it's a really interesting dynamic to do, Like would another Star Trek show survive without its ship and crew together like this? They've done
all the other ones, with the exception of the original series, are named after the ship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they've done such a great job, like building up the secondary and like third characters at this point, like the third tier characters, where you can have entire and like you don't see Julian. Like you see Julian for a minute, and what's he doing? Him and Miles are bitching about, oh man, the food here sucks on this Klingon ship. Oh god, these beds are awful. Because Miles is a spoiled, rotten little bitch who just, hey, this is awful. I don't like any of this stuff. I hate all the food bad. My bed's not comfortable. It's like, but you're at war. Be happy you're alive.
Although I will say, O'Brien is the only one who's like a grizzled war veteran from the group.
Mm-hmm.
So he might just be doing that to weed out the other people to see who agrees with him.
Shut up,
so
punk.
that he can say, oh, you think this is bad? Back in the original war with the Cardassians, we had to do this, and that.
That's a good plan. Maybe he is trying to do it. He's doing this so he can like talk about how great he is.
Yeah.
It's a good plan.
I could see that, yeah.
O'Brien seems like that kind of guy. At least you're not married to Keiko.
Like, yeah, you're right.
I finally translated their kid's freaking name after, 30 years or so?
Yoshi?
Yeah, well, you know what his name is, though, right?
What is it?
Kira Yoshi O'Brien. His first name is Kira Yoshi. It's one word. But it's Kira Yoshi O'Brien. And it gives him Kira Nerese's surname.
Yeah, because she carried him.
But then Yoshi, which is, I guess, a traditional Japanese name.
Mario's friend.
Yeah.
So you've got
for
Yoshi,
that dragon lizard guy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you got Yoshi O'Brien, which honors his father's tradition. And then you've got Kira Yoshi, which honors Kira's tradition and, I guess, his mother's tradition with this, surname.
Too many traditions. What about Hank Williams, man? They got a family tradition. They got that. Why don't ask Hank?
Yeah, but I didn't get this until like earlier this week. I've been watching this show for how long, and it's just like Kira Yoshi.
It's a great.
Oh.
It's a wonderful program. So, Dennis, what do you give this episode, friend?
I know you guys talk really glowingly about it and everything, but this is like a 6 for me.
All right. I mean, 6 is still good.
I didn't buy the whole Kira thing. That kind of annoyed me after the last episode. because I thought she should have been more invested in the resistance than it seemed like she was.
Have you ever fucking started a resistance, Dennis? It doesn't happen overnight,
Maybe.
man.
Maybe.
Graphic designers and flyers, Dennis.
Wow, man. Wow. Dennis is a revolution.
Gotta get the business cards.
How are you going to introduce yourself?
Yeah. What do you think? It's all just secret handshakes, Dennis, and winks and hand signals?
Hey, somebody's got to come up with those fucking secret hand signals too.
You got to get a person for that, Dennis. It's not easy.
They could do the research, make sure that the handshake that they're trying to do isn't like trademarked by somebody else.
I can understand them not like carrying out attacks or sabotage or whatever, but I can't understand her not like keep getting sucked back into thinking that things are normal.
Well, it's the girl.
I don't buy it.
All
I'm
right.
just saying it doesn't work for me.
All right. I'm down
It's
with
still a
that.
6. It's still good.
I know. I'm not hating on you, Dennis. Jeez Louise.
Why are
Sorry.
you over there hating on me?
All right. So what about you, Jenny? What do you say?
I thought it was a good episode, but I think I also had some problems with it, like Dennis. And like for a Klingon episode, like it wasn't as good just because I'm not invested in Alexander at this point. And I'm like, whatever. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
All right. Ben?
Yeah, I'm gonna split the difference with a 6.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's yeah.
I like the Kira stuff. I could see how. I mean, it's just like what we're dealing with right now, where you've got to be careful, or you just go into this. You just accept the new normal, and you forget to keep fighting. So you've got to remind yourself every now and again.
That's a good point.
Good point.
And it's easy to fall into that. I just want to get up, go to work, do my shit, and come home and not deal with it one day. But then shit snaps you out of it every now and again. But then at the same time, the Klingon side of this reminded me of what I hated about TNG so very, very much. When TNG toward like season 5 or I want to say maybe, where it became the Happy Klingon Hour.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like every fucking week it was like, oh, here's another story exploring the very interesting interworkings of the Klingon culture. Let's learn more about the fucking Klingons because that's what we're gonna do.
Jesus.
Fuck that shit. Oh my God, I hate Klingons. And on DS9 for the most part, it's like, okay, but I kind of like how they explore like when the old school Klingons came on and Dax went on their blood feud hunt with them, and it was really cool. And
I know.
Worf is okay. But then it's just like, yeah, but now you lost me. This is just ODing on it, and then you bring Alexander back, and he comes with all those fucking anchor memories from TNG of how much I fucking hated him. And it just, so that took it down, but the Kira stuff actually brought it up for me a little bit, so that's why I said 6.5.
All right. I'm going to say a 6.5 as well. I wasn't in Alexander. I just didn't. I mean, the story's cool. Like,
I think Alexander would have worked better if he was like wearing a flannel shirt and some ripped up jeans, maybe.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Like, and like you never really get the reason why he's there. Like I wanted him to just come out and say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like they just kind of did a good. Like they just they kind of beat it around it. Like he was looking for the approval of his father.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't see him lasting very long in this war. Like, if he lives through the rest of the series, I'll be shocked and amazed. I don't know. I thought it was a weird callback.
He has to live through it, though, doesn't he? Then future Alexander came back before. Right?
Yeah, but time is fluid. But he did on TNG. He came back and...
but when he came back on, so he's gonna become like a great warrior. That shit ain't gonna happen.
Well, he at least dresses like a great warrior.
You're a punk. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're faking, dude. Everybody knows you're full of shit. Like, you're just an idiot. I don't know.
You're a Klingon named Alexander.
Yeah.
How great can you be?
Alexander the Great.
Alexander.
Yeah, but not Alexander the Great Klingon.
Alexander the not so great Klingon. So.
Technically, only 3/4 Klingon.
But I mean, like, I don't know, man. I really wanted Alexander just to come out and be like, I'm doing this for you, Dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
That relationship could have had like a lot more depth. It could have had some more like emotional impact if they're going to bother to bring him back. But it was he was just there.
And then at the end, he's like, I will teach you how to be a warrior if, you know.
Pretty much we're never going to see Alexander again
No, I think you see him again. I think he pops back up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That goes against the mold of Worf taking people under his wing.
At his funeral.
Oh, shit.
And like Alexander
flew back to his home planet.
And never to be seen again. I think it would have been better suited if he would have died. Like, you know?
And Worf was like, I've always been proud of you.
Yeah. I thought that's what they were going for. It would have been an easy way to wrap that up. Like, no more Alexander. All right, cool. He's over. He tried
Could
to
have ended with an awesome Klingon death scream.
Yeah. Like he tried to be a warrior, didn't work out, now he's dead. So I don't know, but whatevs. I liked it. I thought it was an episode. Like it was an entertaining episode.
Mm-hmm.
So all right. Well, that's the episode, everybody. I hope you found this episode of Dork Trek entertaining. See what I did there? And we will talk to you guys next week. So thank you for listening. No one can hear that, Dennis. You audibly have to say goodbye.
In space, no one can hear you wave.
We're in space?
Space.